What's up, True Beauty fam, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome. I'm Alexa. Welcome to my channel, and subscribe before you leave. Also turn on that notification bell. And for today's video, I decided to do my go-to / everyday makeup, I guess, for fall and winter. So yeah, let's get into the video, and I hope you enjoy. Okay guys, so to start off, I'm gonna go in with my hydrating gel eye cream since I already have moisturizer on my face, and this is from Cetaphil. And these bags and dark circles gotta go, so it would also help if I fell asleep at a decent hour, but I don't. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend that in with my ring finger. My under eyes definitely are a part of my face that do get dry during the fall and winter months. So I try to keep under there hydrated, not use as much powder under there as I would maybe during like spring or summer. Okay, so for our next step, I'm just gonna spray my face down with some Mario Badescu because this is very hydrating and it has helped me in the past with texture, because I do get texture on my cheekbones when it's cold outside. Around my nose gets really dry too, and it did help me with that. So if that's a problem for you, I definitely suggest picking this up. It's just an all-around great product and definitely one of my favorites. So what I do is I shake it and then, you know, take it away from my face and just go. And it feels so good. This one is the aloe, cucumber, and green tea one. I tried the rose one. I like the way that this one smells better. I'm pretty sure they all have aloe in them. There's one with lavender. Sorry, I just love this spray so much. That's why I have like that much left of it. Yeah, I really love that spray. And it also gives my skin, like, I use it on my no makeup days, and it just gives my skin such like a beautiful glow to it. So another product that I'm gonna use is from NYX, and it is the Hydra Touch Oil Primer. Now, if you are like me and you do get very dry during the winter, in certain areas, I would use it in the areas you get the most dry, because with this product you don't need a lot to cover my whole face. I think I use about 1 to 2 drops, and that's it. Now I could usually just rub this in my hand. My mouth also gets very dry during the winter, so I rub around my mouth, around my nose, and I also rub my forehead because it gets very dry. If you guys don't get like super dry, I suggest the Hydra Touch primer. It's in a blue bottle, and it is from NYX as well, and it really is a very moisturizing primer. So if you deal with, you know, dry skin, I definitely do suggest that. If you're still kind of oily during the winter, then, you know, I probably wouldn't suggest it, all depending on your oil levels. I do get somewhat oily, but not as oily as I would in the summer months. So I try to use like deeper penetrating products with moisture during the winter months. And I also drink more water during the summer. During the winter, I drink more like hot drinks. I don't drink more cold drinks, so that could also be why my skin does dry out, because I don't drink, you know, a lot of water during the winter months. I probably should, but it gets pretty cold in my house, so I try to like stay away from water. I drink mostly hot drinks. So moving on to brows, I literally just had my brow product and I don't know where it went. Okay, I'm gonna go get my life together and I will be right back. Okay, so moving on to brows, I'm using the NYX Tame and Frame Brow Gel. And I'm just gonna do my brows. Moving on to conceal out my brows, I'm going to be mixing two LA Girl Pro concealers. One is in the shade Chestnut and the other is in the shade Medium Beige. And I'm just going to use the back of something. Actually no, I'll use the back of my hand. I'll just roll up my sleeve. Put a little bit of that Medium Beige down. And trying to take what I have left of my chestnut. And now that I look crazy, I'm just gonna blend that out with a fluffy blending brush. I don't know if you guys do this, but what I like to do is I like to take the concealer like that I have in the middle and push it into the front of my brow just to create more of a gradient. I don't know, I just like the way my brows look after I do that. So if you don't do that, I suggest trying it because I really like how my brows look. All right. Okay, so moving on to primer on the rest of my face. I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty Soft Matte Pro Filter Primer. And since I'm only using it on the outside of my face, I'm not taking that much. I took 1 pump, or maybe even half a pump, I don't know. It might have been half a pump, but either way, I did not use that much. And for foundation, I'm mixing my Fenty foundation in the shade 430 with my Fit Me Matte Poreless in the shade Truffle or 362 if you like to go by the numbers. I'm just putting some of that on the back of my hand. I like adding the 430 just to add some warmth. I'm gonna go ahead and mix those two together. And just put it all on my face. And down my neck as well. Because, you know, you can't look one color up here and then a different color down here. It's not going to make sense. And now taking my Real Techniques Expert face brush, I'm going to blend all of that out. Skin looks so good. I feel like the Fenty, I really like the finish of the Fenty foundation, and I feel like the Fenty helps the Maybelline one get a little bit better. It has a nicer finish when I added the Fenty one, because the Fenty makes you look like flawless and airbrushed, and yeah. Whereas the Fit Me, it does have more of like a skin-like finish, a more lived-in finish. And yeah, I like putting these two together because the Fenty gives it the finish of flawless, and yeah, that's just why I prefer to do it that way. But my skin looks so good. The base is looking great, if I do say so myself. So now I'm gonna move on to concealer, and I'm using the same mixture that I did before. I still have a lot of chestnut on my hand, so I'm gonna add a little bit of medium beige again. I don't want to put too much because then I like the really highlighted look on other people. I just don't really like it on myself. So when I say I'm adding a little bit of medium beige, I'm like literally adding a little bit. I'm not adding a lot. I'm gonna highlight the under eyes, nose, etc. Do I need more concealer? I think I need more concealer. Now taking a Real Technique sponge, I'm quickly going to blend this out. Now I'm gonna take my Laura Mercier. Okay guys, so my camera battery died. So I'm sorry that it cut out. But before it cut out, I was saying that I was setting down my concealer with the Laura Mercier translucent powder. And I think this is the deep one. Medium deep. Translucent medium deep. And yeah, that's basically all I did besides adding mascara. So now to contour. I'm going to be, I do have my lash glue drying down right now, so that's why I'm just moving on to contouring, so I can wait for that to go down. So for contour, I'm taking my Black Radiance Beauty True Complexion Contour Palette. If you have been on my channel for a while, you know this is a favorite of mine. It's also really affordable. I think it's $8. I didn't realize I still had the price tag on there. It's $8, and you would get a contour shade, a sculpt shade, and a highlight shade. Now the highlight is kind of subtle, but if you scrape at it, like with the back of your brush, and then use it, it's magical. For my contour shade, I mix together the sculpt and contour because the contour does go very deep. So if you are darker than me, you know, you should definitely get this palette. I think I'm gonna move on to blush in just a second. Just moving some stuff around. So now moving on to blush, I'm using the ombre blush from NYX in the shade Nude to Me. Ow. The only thing I hate is that this is kind of hard to open if you have long nails / acrylics on. Sometimes I end up using like lash tweezers or something to get it open so that I don't hurt myself. And I'm just gonna take some on a fluffy brush. And because I have chubbier cheeks, I'm just gonna take it along my cheekbones. This does have a little bit of highlight in it, so it could also double as a highlight if you wanted to. Like if you don't feel like using highlight on the particular day. But I feel like using highlight today. And for highlight, oh, I forgot my highlighter brush. But for highlight, I'm using the I Love Study X Dose of Colors highlighter in the shade Soulmate. This has very quickly become a favorite. It's up there with my Amrezy highlighter, which I love. It just looks great on all skin tones that I've seen it on. I think it could work for all skin tones if you ask me, as long as you're careful with it. If you are like a lot darker than I am. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get my highlighter brush and then be right back. Okay, so now going in with the highlight. I love this highlighter so much. And you really don't need a lot, you guys. Like, I just went ham. And it was not intentional. It was definitely an accident. But I like to go in a C formation. So I go from the top of my cheekbone to like the in-between of my eyebrow and where my eye is. And then I go to my brow bone. And that's just how I like to do my highlight on my cheekbones. And then on my nose I do like that, and then down the bridge of my nose. Sometimes I'll do above my brow like I am right now, since you know the sun does hit you there. I really used a lot on this side, but yeah. But this highlighter is so great, you guys. If you can get your hands on it, please get your hands on it. And yeah, I think we're gonna move on to lashes now. They should be tacky by now. I think I might put on the left one first. I'm probably gonna do this off camera, so I'll be right back. For lashes today, I used the Azarito Cosmetics lashes in the style Goddess, and this is from their Silk Lash line. And you can use my code lexx10 to get 10% off of your purchase. So moving on to my lips, I'm gonna take my favorite lip pencil like ever. And this is the Slim Lip Pencil in the color Espresso. And I'm just gonna line my lips. And for my lip gloss today, I'm using the NYX Better Gloss in the shade Ginger Snap. These are really good lip glosses, so if you've been sleeping on them, you should probably get your hands on them. And this is the final look. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel if you are not already subscribed. Turn on that notification bell so that you are notified when I post. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.